Okay, good afternoon. Hope everyone is well. Okay, so we had low volume yesterday, but we finally had a push up overnight and broke all-time highs. So we're into new territory now. So we've had a couple of legs down. Whether there's a channel there, I'm not too sure. Market is open now, so whether this is going to turn down, it's hard to say at the moment. Bookmap, I got buyers about 18, which is there right at these lows. I'm just sitting tight here, I think. Looking at that CL chart, we've had a channel up this morning with a bit of a break, an attempt at a new high and a drop, so I don't know whether this is going to continue on up. We've had a couple of legs up. I was just waiting for maybe a drop down, but I'm not sure about this, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Speedy, good morning to you, buddy. Karina, how you doing? Your lady is back. You got your first payout 2006. Fantastic. Well done. Good for you. Go and buy yourself something nice. Treat yourself. Great. Always like to hear people taking payouts. Makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it? So good for you. Good for you. So, what is going on here? There are sellers at 30, which is there. So is this going to come down and test these lows? Hard to say. Let's go for a witch. You know what? I had a couple last night and I felt sick. Didn't agree with me for some reason. My wife bought something different, a bourbon cask one, and I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest with you. Didn't agree with me, strangely enough, but we are cutting back a bit now, actually. I've been putting some weight on, so trouble is when you're sat down and you're drinking, you tend to snack a bit, don't you? FOMC, it is around about 7 o'clock tonight, isn't it? Yeah, 7 o'clock tonight. I'll be done and dusted by then. Well, I'll be finished. I think most of us will be finished by then. Trade of 8 was failed. How you doing, Richard? Austin? Ben, good morning to you, buddy. So what are we doing here? Coming down. So all-time highs. I didn't think it would be far away. I thought we'd do it yesterday. We didn't, but as soon as the market opened, woof, 2 legs up, and that was it. So we've hit all-time highs. So it's interesting to see how we react. How are we going to push up? We could have this kind of bull flag effect again, but it's come down a little bit too far for me. Seeing sellers there, my guess is it may come down. There are quite a lot of buyers around the 210, 215 area, which is down here at the lows. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing took a dive. So I'm keeping an eye on this CL chart as well. We've had a channel with a break. We've had 2 attempts to push up and a strong move. So if we can get a second entry short here, we may get down. But we've got some oil news coming up later around about 3:30. So if you hear a bleep at 3:30, sorry, 3:30, that's what it is. I don't usually have low impact news on here, but it can affect there also. I don't really want to be in a trade. So we've got a channel there with a bit of an overshoot and a push down. We've got sellers a little bit lower as well, which is interesting. We've got some at 28, which is there, which is perfect. Sellers there, sellers there. So if we can get a little bit of a pullback, we may get something. Let's blow accounts together. Yeah. I put my accounts on anyway so you can keep track of what I'm doing and how mine are doing. They're really slow at the moment. The largest is 1,500, a chunk of them around about the 9-ish, and then another bunch of them just below 500. Trouble is, it's been so slow the last 2 months, I've hardly taken anything. You think Mac fucked up? Trade 8. He's not, I don't think he's trading at the moment. He's in that area in the US that have had that bad weather. I think that there's a lot of them without power, and I think didn't he put a post out yesterday somewhere? Somebody posted it somewhere. Yeah, he's in that rough area where they've had those problems, power cuts and so on. So he's probably going to be out of action for a couple of days. They got hammered in, mate. Yeah, so I believe. This is interesting. Almost looks like a shoulder head and a shoulder. I would like to push up a little bit higher there. There is a second entry. That's more like a first. There's a little channel down there. That's just a first entry, really. It's gone too far for a lower high, but a little second entry there may give us shoulder, head, shoulder. I don't trade patterns, but I am aware of them. So whether there is something like this down there, there could be. It's not far away. Not a massive fan of that. We'll just keep an eye on it. If I do take something, I'll drag it in. So there are sellers here and sellers at 30. So I'd be interested to see how this reacts. It could push up, of course. Yeah, so I believe. Yeah, I know they've been hammered in the US in parts, haven't they? It's not so much the snow; it's the temperature drop, isn't it? Mind you, I suppose the snow gets on the power lines. That's interesting. The snow gets on the power lines. That's a good push down. That is. Unfortunately, that's a FOMO type of a bar, I think. I've got onto trades like that before. You see it drop and you think, yes, and you get in and then it turns up. We could have a channel up here, 2 attempts to go low, and it could push high. It's always possible. And that's 21 ticks. So that's a no-no for me. I can't tell how many times I've seen that, jumped into it, and it triggers below and pushes up. Now, if we got a second entry here, then maybe I would get in there, but I'm just sitting tight there. Okay, so that CL chart didn't materialise. I thought we may get a little second entry then down, but that's the problem. It's easier to have 2 legs up and then to jump in and think this thing's coming down, and who knows what it's doing. There could possibly be a triple test. Triple test there, something like that. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. So we've got buyers at 15 down there. So sellers here, buyers here. That's kind of, you expect it to go up and then down. So 28 and 30. Maybe we're having something like that. It's hard to say. Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? Trouble is, I've seen that before as well, and then down, so got to be careful around here. I'm doing good, mate. I'm okay. It's been slow lately, isn't it? But I'm all right, mate. I'm in a good place. Thomas Wade has just posted that, so he's kind of thinking the larger channel. I don't know what anybody else has done. He had that initially, but it's acting like a break with this move down. But yeah, we need a second entry really. Well, I mean, depending on what it looks like, I may even. It's hard to say. As I say, we could get a couple of legs. We've got sellers up here, see. So if we get a second entry here, it may trigger you and push up for a second leg into this area where these sellers are. Kind of is a lower high, but you don't want to be selling into the bottom there. Thomas Wade, honestly, I'm not sure about the structure. Yeah, I agree with that. So, sellers there. So, as I say, it's possible. Push up, little correction. We possibly could get another little leg up here. Who knows? Nothing you can do there. Risky short in that. And that's why triggers you. Pushes straight up, stops you out. So, I know there are sellers in this region. I expect price to push up and out of this channel. I can't see buyers, sellers getting in here, to be honest with you. Buyers, yeah, not sellers though. Go on, push up. There we go. Going to be some stops there. Sellers here, sellers there. You expect sellers above these areas because there's big bearish bars there. So that's the first one gone. Just below 30. In fact, it's around about 30. So, if that was bearish, there is technically a second entry short there. Now, we've broken above there. My concern is we've got sellers further up there and there. Doji anyway, so I'm doing nothing there. May come down, but as I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't be shocked if it did this and it clears this and then maybe goes down. Technically is a second entry short there, but that to me is a little micro channel, so I wouldn't get involved. It may work. It's taken out any stop that may have been there. The push up, the little overshoot, that might be the top before it comes down, but just the fact that there are sellers up here, there's not a huge amount, but there's enough to make me hold thinking about a short at the moment. But even if we get up here, I'd wait for that push down below that EMA just in case, because although I've got this as a channel, it's very wicky and you don't know whether it's going to push up and, you know, maybe test the highs again, overnight highs, stroke all-time highs again. So we're just got to sit tight here. Okay, that stop there was taken out by a tick. So let's just get them out of the way. You're not feeling the larger downtrend. Now I'm a bit on the fence with it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens here. If we get strong rejection here, then maybe it is. But yeah, I'm not super convinced. I mean, that is a leg up with a correction and another leg up. So it could continue down. It's hard to say at the moment, really. FOMC day, yeah. Sometimes FOMC day doesn't really, it just produces a normal day. Other times it's a bit finicky, isn't it? Just a bit choppy all the time. Your Ninja Trader is frozen. You can't open it. Okay, I'll tell you what to try. go onto the Ninja Trader icon, right click and click Run as Administrator and see if that works. I get that sometimes. It won't open. I'll just keep getting the end that keeps scrolling. So if you right click Administrator, you might get a little icon in the bottom that looks like a shield, a blue and yellow shield. Just click on it and open it up and see if that helps. Mine does that most days for some reason. I either got to open it normally or run it as administrator. I should contact Ninja Trade. It probably needs updating or I don't know, rebooting or something. I don't know how it works. Chart is stuck, is it? You might just have to shut things down. Tradeovate's frozen. Good grief. Rodian, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so we've had this move down. Whether it's a channel or not, I'm not sure. It's certainly working down. We've got 2 legs up. We knew there was some sellers at 30, so there are sellers popping up a little bit further. But my guess is this is probably going to come down and test these lows. There's going to be liquidity around here. And if it gets down here, it may come down and test these lows. So that's what I'm thinking. I didn't expect this second leg to get as high. Once it starts to clear liquidity, if there's sellers interested in that, that's where they're going to get in, and that's where they were at 30. So if you want to sell this, you wait for it to clear previous liquidity. Now, what I like about this as 2 legs up is you can't really confuse it with a channel. It doesn't really work. So it's acting like 2 legs up and a push down. Unfortunately, we got no bar here, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to get a pullback either. Once it's quite clear where price is going, it usually just continues down, which is a ball ache. Martin, how you doing, my friend? Tradeovate prop down across all the props, but if you disconnect and reconnect, you can usually get a snapshot of the chart. Excellent. How you doing, buddy? Jeffrey, how you doing? Tag stuff said hello to you, I think. Yeah. Okay, so this is acting like a channel with a break, a leg up, a little correction, another leg up, and a really strong move down. I'll be shocked if that doesn't continue. Unfortunately, when it pushes down like that, it usually doesn't come back and give you a setup, which is a bit of a pain, but there we go. We might get a small break and it'll continue down. Excuse me just a sec. I'm just going to blow my nose a minute. Okay. We may get something. Little second entry would be lovely. How lucky do you think we are? Are we going to be lucky? Unfortunately, that's only really a first entry. Second entry, first entry, second entry. So, no, come on, let's get a little. Be nice. Your bars are different. I have reloaded. Let me do it again. I've been messing around with them because I keep getting these ticks are too close. I like them a little bit broken apart. I don't know where that came from. So we got 2 legs up, little push down. We need a little second entry, or I don't know if we're going to get one, but trouble is it's a little bit like this. So you may get a second entry. It may trigger you push up. That's interesting. I like that. Trouble is it's only a first entry. But the fact where it is interesting, but even so, I'm going to have to just leave it, unfortunately. I've got a fair idea where it's going, but if I take it and it fails, I know I've broken the rules, and that's where I have problems. Your CL's frozen. Blimey hell. What's mine like? Mine's working okay. ES is working CR. All you can do is shut it down and reopen it and see if that helps you, bud. It does happen from time to time. I don't know why, but I don't know. We may get a second entry, but it doesn't want to go much higher. Go on, push up a little bit. Just going to get a little sell order up here, just in case. Submitted. I don't think it was going to, is it? That's an inside bar, see. It needs to go a little bit higher. I don't think it's going to. Go on, push up a bit. Go on. Go on, go on. Another couple of ticks. Okay, no drop. Have we got sellers at 24 down here? It's a bit low, that. Channel down. Come on, drop. It's not going to, is it? Come on, we need to get below that EMA. Come on. I've got faith. Little channel with a break. Not like it wants to, does it? I don't mind if it comes up and tests this area a little bit. It is looking a little bit rangy. Okay, there is a second entry short there, but I'm not sure whether this is coming up. It's starting to look a bit rangy, so we got a little leg with a break. I'd have to wait for it to push below the EMA, and to be honest with you, if that happens, it's going to be close to these lows anyway, so there's not really much I can do here. I'm certainly not going short there. Definitely not. There are buyers at 25 quite strong, and that's before the lows there, so may pull back and push up. If you took that second entry short, it's hard to say really. We've had two legs up. It may be two more attempts, and it may well work, but it's looking a bit rangy, and the fact that we've got strong buyers there and strong buyers there is telling me it's not likely to get down before it hits these buyers. So my guess is it'll trigger there and push up. So I'm just going to ditch that. My order cancelled. Yeah, it's doing exactly what I thought it might. Trapping shorts there, short and into that midline. You can clearly see it's chopped there, and that will attract some trades, and they just got stopped out. So you do get used to seeing these where they look a bit dicey. Once it started to look rangy, you're shorting right in the middle of this little range here. You've got to wait for it to get up and see and find some kind of rejection up here, and that will be okay, I think. Don't like that either. Maybe a channel there, a couple of pushes up. If it gets up here and shows us some strong rejection, you may argue that's a triple test. So there's a lot of orders at 23 to 25. 25's there, so if you get a short up here, you've got to have enough space, really. And 24's there. Trouble is, I don't like buyers here. I prefer them below here, or certainly below here. If you get sellers here and buyers below here, chances are it's going to come down and make a new low. But I don't like the fact you've got buyers there off the bottom of this little range. That can get you in a little bit of bother. So if I do take a short here, for a triple test, I would have to make sure I got enough space before I start hitting buyers. Now, a lot of the time, buyers will just get absorbed anyway, but you can see there are sellers there at 29.75, and I'm guessing that's at the top, but I prefer to break above there if I can. Now, we've had this channel. If it is a channel, we've also had 2 attempts to go lower, so it could push up right out of here. I'm not sure. There is kind of like a higher low there, strong bull bar there. So if it breaks above there, it'll possibly trap some buyers. Would I bring that down there? Maybe. Trouble is, it always concerns me going short while there's some liquidity left up there. So we got a channel with a break at a new high. But we've got a fair amount of sellers there, so getting in short here, it could trigger and push up. It may not, but it's not for me. Okay, it may come down, but with this left up here and these sellers, I would have to decline that. It is kind of like 2 legs, and we are up to this area, but it's just too risky shorting that, especially with them sellers. 120 odd contracts there. There are some at 25 there, which are quite large as well. So it's between there and there, so which is why it might be doing a little bit of sideways stuff. But my guess is it'll hit them sellers first. I don't think there's any type of a channel here. There may be. If this is a little trend channel down, we've had a break. We have had 1, 2 attempts to go lower, so it may push up. So that's a possibility. So another reason not to go short. Who knows? It may just come down, but my guess is it's more likely going to hit them sellers before it does anything. But we've got strong buyers there. There's 150 contracts to buy there, 130 to sell. So there's more down here, but I wouldn't take that. Because if it hits those buyers, it could turn up. Let's give it something. Okay. So what's this thing doing? Is it coming down or is it going to turn up? My guess is it's going to turn up. See what happens if it hits these buyers here. Okay, it's hitting them now. Or is it? Not quite. Our sellers at 26. So it may come down. So it's hit those buyers. There are sellers at 26. So that tells me it's more likely going to come down. It could pull back a bit and then drop. So unfortunately, there is a second entry short there, but then we push up. We didn't break above that bull bar there, so we're not really trapping as many buyers as I'd like, and there were some sellers there, so I had to just stay out of that, unfortunately. But I did say it may work, especially when you've got buyers down here. It's just a bit risky, this is. It's not clear. Probably Trader is confirming a global trade event. Oh, that's a ball ache, isn't it? Not for me, though. I should keep my mouth shut just in case something happens with a Rhythmic. No, I use Rhythmic, so I'm safe at the moment. Well, hopefully it gets resolved soon. It is a pain in the arse when that happens because you miss out on a potential profitable day. I remember we had a problem. This was probably 2 years ago. with Rhythmic. And this is back when Apex was just resetting everyone's accounts. I blew 5 PA accounts in one day. And I turned up to trade the next day thinking I was going to do A-levels, and they were back. They gave me them back, although I'd blown them, so I got lucky. Couldn't believe me luck, actually. To be honest with you, I ended up blowing them later down the line anyway, so didn't really do many favours. But they used to do that, Trade of 8, going back... Apex going back a year and a half, 2 years ago, they used to just reset everyone's account. Trouble is, I don't know how to get out of trades with Trade of 8 if something goes wrong. I like the fact that I've got this down here. I can make sure everything's closed, and I know how to close it if anything does stay open. But with Trade of 8, I'm not really sure how that works. Yeah, I'm guessing someone's just posted that. I'm guessing currently we're looking into a market data interruption with the simulated environment. We're actively working on it. I'll update you soon. Yeah, so that must be that, I'm guessing. So, sellers 26. In fact, I've got them there, I think. Sellers at 26. Sellers at 29, which is up here. And there are buyers down here at 20, which is there. So sellers up here, buyers down here. Does that mean it's just going to continue to do that? So we've made 3 attempts. You may call it a triple test. So we got a channel there with a break. We got some sellers here, a second entry. Might not be terrible. It's hard to say though. Now, at quick glance, that looks like some kind of a channel with a break. Couple of attempts to go higher, 2 legs up, a retest or triple test, whatever you want to call it, and then down. So is it going to test these lows or the overnight lows? Who knows? Who the hell knows? Still sellers at 26. I would prefer a little second entry, hit those sellers and start to move down. We do seem to be getting a little bit of resistance here. But it's only a first entry, that. One more tick down, touch this and now push up for a higher low, trap some longs. Let's chill and chat. Absolutely, you don't need to go nowhere. You can't trade, there's not much you can do really. Have a drink, that's what I do. Disco, how you doing, pal? So, yeah, if anybody doesn't know or anybody isn't aware, there is a problem with Tradeovate at the moment. There seems to be a national outage of Tradeovate, so just be careful if you're unaware of it. Hopefully they'll sort it out soon. There is kind of a break with a lower high here. I would just much prefer... Trouble is, you never know what it's going to trigger. You bounce off here and push a bit higher. There are some sellers there. So although that's tempting, I would much prefer a little bull bar to trigger above. And at least that way you've got some stops to pick off as it comes down. We may get something. Trouble is, if that's a little, we got a little breakout there and one here. So on the left chart, we got a bull bar and a higher low. I'd much prefer that higher low to trigger. And then we got a possible second entry. Then it doesn't look like it's going to. That's a pain in the bum. There we go. Okay. What I'm going to do is just do that. Let's get rid of that one. Let's fade that a little bit. So, possibly, channel working down. I am expecting it to come down and break. We'll test these lows. There's quite a few wicks there. And there's obviously some buyers there. So, I'd like it to come down and clear some liquidity. So where have we got liquidity? About 2.5 points. That's what I wanted. A little push up. Now I'd like a little push up there, trigger that, and then give us something else. Not sure about this though. This oil chart's having a quick drop. Leg and a leg. It's been awful, this has lately. It's just been really poor. Let's just put that like that for now. So channel with a little break, lower high. It did work in the end, but I'd have preferred a second entry, really. Could argue it's a failure, but I can't see buyers buying there, to be honest with you. And I don't really want to go short into there. I'd much prefer a second attempt, especially with those sellers there, but they've disappeared now. It's typical, isn't it? So, liquidity down here, maybe a new low from this channel if that's what you like. And there we go. So, maybe that is a channel, maybe it isn't. It's not the best looking channel in the world, but we're clearly kind of working down temporarily, and then we made 3 attempts to push up, and eventually it found its way down. It'd be nice if we can kind of come up here and retest these, and maybe there is a bigger channel down there. Yeah, that's kind of like a bear flag, that, isn't it? We got that move down, that slow grind up, and then a drop. It is, yeah. So there is a chunk of sellers there. Sorry, buyers there. 270 contracts sat there. So that looks okay as a channel. It'd be nice to get a break and get up and test the bottom end of this and then find our way down. We've got sellers at 22, which is right where I would want it to test. Sellers at 22 and sellers at 20. So if we can get a pullback, that'd be lovely. A couple of little legs up to this, test this area here, and then push down either for these buyers down here at 11 or for the measured move or overnight lows, whichever comes first. You'd expect some profit taking when you get below here. Come on, have a little push up. That's where we want to get into if we can get a little pullback. Doesn't want to slow down, does it? See what anybody else is doing. Okay, here's our break. See how lucky we are. Okay, so we got sellers at 20. We did have some at 22. They're a little bit lower now, so 20 is about where we need to be. There are some at 18. So there are some around this area. So a little break here and another attempt. That would be good. So sellers at 20. That's exactly where I want to. We need a little break though. Okay, so that's hit those sellers. There's not much up here now. The majority now is at 11, so my guess is this is going to come down, but we've just got nothing really. Channel with a break, and that's it. There are some up here just appearing now. 121 contracts, about 20.5, which is there above there. So if we can get another little push, break above this, we may get something. Come on, give us something for God's sake. Let's have a little bit of luck. So 19 and 20.5 there are sellers. There's 19. Come on, get up, you git. Today's FMC, yeah, it is. Some days it doesn't make a difference, to be honest with you. If you get a decent setup, I'd still take it. Just not sure whether we're going to really. We need another little push up. Hit some sellers there, stop that little entry out there, and give us a second entry short. But it's frustrating. So many times now we just do that crossover and come down, which is a ball ache. Come on, get up. Trade of 8's not working. Yeah, it doesn't affect me. I'm a rhythmic man. Come on, get up. It's not going to, is it? I'm having no luck, Wilson. No luck, lad. I'm having no luck. I'm having no luck. That's not going to come back, is it? That's just going to continue down, I think. Sellers at 17. People are getting desperate now. I'm not selling there. We got to get up a bit higher. You could argue we got a break and a matching high in one bar there, but it would have to be one hell of a good setup, wouldn't it? Yeah. Go on, push up. Okay, that's it. Some sellers. Let's hope they get absorbed. I'd want to get above here, really, for safety. Go on, push. Push, push, push. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Another tick or two. Come on, get above that. Come on, push, pushity, push. Got to get above that bear bar. There we go. Now let me see some rejection. Just going to get an order ready.
Order submitted.
If it doesn't close below there, I'm going to wait for the lower high. It is a second entry short. We have cleared previous liquidity. There are 800 odd contracts down here. So my guess is this is going to come down. Can I take this bar? I can. It's a little bit more risky, though. I think the safer option is to wait for the lower high. It's not trigger anyway. Maybe it's going to test a little bit higher. You can't really confuse that with a channel. It just don't work. It's just 2 pushes up. It's a little bit more risky there, but I have got more room. Let's see if it closes below that EMA. If it doesn't, I'm going to wait. Plenty of buyers down below, which is good. So if you got in there, triggered you, stopped you out, that's why it looks nice, but I've been down that road before. You're always safer to wait for the lower high. I guarantee that'll trap some traders. Guaranteed. I mean, really, channel down, 2 pushes up, second entry short. You can't argue with it. It is a second entry short, but the context is just stopped you out. Yeah, I don't bother with them now. If it's above that EMA, if I didn't see strong rejection, didn't get below that EMA, so you're much better to wait for the lower high. It's much safer.
Order canceled.
And I would prefer it to test this area, to be honest with you. And then wait for the lower high. Now, someone said they got a new low from here. To be honest with you, touch. I like that. I got no problems with that. So if this ends up bearish, if we get a lower high, I'll have a go at that. See the higher low there? That's been trapped. My guess is it's going to come down and stop that out. If it does, it's probably going to continue down. You can see we got buyers down here at 213, right at the lows, and down here at 211 at the lows. But you've got to wait for that shove below the EMA, really. It looks okay. You know, it's kind of what we're looking for. See, Thomas Wade's got that, just that with a break. But then we got a break. We got 2 touches here. We come down, we pull back, we come down again. So I like the channel, I do. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. So you got a higher low there and a really big higher low there. So we're testing the underside of this now. So this is where I'm looking for some real rejection. You're going to have buyers there. Buyers probably there thinking this thing's coming back out, going back in. So will have trapped some traders, that for sure. They'll have jumped in there because it is a second entry. That's oil news, isn't it? Okay, it's oil news. So if you're not trading oil, it doesn't really matter. So that's a good start, that is. And I'm looking for that push down. That is right at that 50% level as well, which is good. Yeah, more or less. Depends where you take it from. You go from there, we're right at that area. So we need push below the EMA and then a lower high of some sorts. We may not get it. But you can see where it's tested there, where you'd expect it to. I don't think you can see this as a channel, to be honest with you. It doesn't look right to me. Need a little pullback here. I was hoping for a bull bar to trigger and trap. That's an half decent measured leg as well, so come on, have a little pullback. Is that VWAP there, is it? Looks like it. 19.5. Come on, have a pullback. Come on, push up. Oh. That's just oil news. If you're not trading the CL chart, I won't worry about that. Come on, pull back. It hasn't got the legs. There are sellers there, which is good. Just below 20. So here, push up. Come on, give us a bull bar and then trigger. So there may be traders trading that as a channel. I'm not so convinced. To me, it just doesn't look right to me. It's semi-bullish here, but it's not enough, I don't think. Where am I I got this, bud. I use this. It's one of Jan's bits of software. Gives me that information and also alarms as well. So it'll be visual and audio, so I can get the alarms. That's where I get mine from. What time is it? Okay, so we got oil news. It's not doing much, I don't think. It is now. It's not really doing much. Sometimes it does. Other times it doesn't. So we got a bullish bar. Let's see what happens. It's triggered on here. That would be a lower high.
Order submitted.
Still not fully convinced. It's a bit risky, that is. I like the fact that it's triggered the bull bar,
order canceled.
This is a little bit risky. It's a bit congested here. Although the majority of the buyers are down here, it's just a bit too congested. It may trigger you and push up. Looks like it's going to, so you're just going to have to wait for this. Prefer a little second entry here, really, to be honest with you. It's a little bit congested on here. You can see it just there. So you got to be a little bit careful. EMA's flat as well. I'm pretty sure you can't confuse this for a channel. Doesn't look right to me. Yeah, it does, mate. I know, it's frustrating, isn't it? Sometimes, though, just when you think there's nothing, it may push up and give us a little breakout that fails. Traps this little bear. See this bear bar here? I wouldn't take that. It's a bit just too risky. It may push below there, but it may have a little pullback. Could be a little double trap here. But I prefer a little push down, down, across and down, but a little pullback, maybe a little fail breakout. It's just one of them things. I know it's frustrating. It seems to happen more and more lately that we just seem to get nothing. It has broken below there, but I still wouldn't take that. I don't think it is strong enough. It could pop back up. The safest way to take that is, if you really like it, is to take it when it breaks below there, but it's not getting the reaction that I expected. I'd expect, if I like this, I'd have expected a lot stronger move down after that, but we're not really getting it. So you still got to be a bit careful here. I think it may push up and stop that bear bar out. So if you took that a tick below there, you wouldn't have got 2 points out of that. You'd have got 0.5, I think. There are still buyers trying to push this thing higher. I can kind of feel it. It's really struggling to get down. I don't like getting into trades when it's struggling, because often you get in, all of a sudden, woof, it rams up. So prices are just not printing. Yeah. You kind of got a fair idea where it's likely to go, but you don't know how many times it's going to stop you out on its way down there, especially when it's like this. It's very finicky, isn't it? It may be something to do with FOMC. It's probably going to get down here, but it's just, it's not comfortably pushing down as much as I'd have expected. We've had those two legs up, and it still came down and went sideways before eventually it starts to fall. But I think that's a bit risky, to be honest with you. On this chart, it's doing what we thought. On this chart, see, I've got that little range. You can see how many times it's going sideways there, and that can get you in a bit of trouble. Trust me, you get into a trade like this, and it'll turn up and stop you out. You do nothing, it pushes down. You're damned if you don't. But I've just learnt over time just to let it go. If I don't see anything that I find attractive, I'll just leave it. At least that way I know in my own head. The problems I used to have on tilt was when I got into a trade that something inside my head was saying I should stay out of this. So I just kind of wait for those trades now that I go, I like that, and jump straight in without thinking twice. And if I don't see anything that gives me that, I just stay out. Because it's, we've got a fair idea what's going on, but when it's struggling, it's not as clear and it's not as strong, and sometimes you just don't get quite that follow through as much as you're expecting. Sometimes it very slowly grinds down, and it's a bit frustrating that sometimes the slower things go down, the quicker they can shoot up. So much better than when I started watching you. Yeah, I was awful at one point, wasn't I? I had so much lack of control, but I think you learn after a while, don't you? You learn. The more you mess around, the more eventually you start. I don't know, sometimes I feel like maybe I'm a little bit overcautious, but I certainly stay out of a lot more losing trades than I used to. So, I think it's probably better to err on the side of caution. than to be too risky. But it takes time, though. My patience is much better. I don't feel like I'm in a rush to take a trade. I just kind of wait for it to come. But you see what I mean? It's still not having it now, is it? It's still not rushing down. It's still it's still struggling. Absolutely. You know, you take less trades, but when I see people like Wilson and that taking 10 trades in a day, they're losing 4 of them. So I think sometimes you're better off just to, like you say, not take a trade than risk taking a lose. I know there's always an element of risk, but if you wait for a really solid setup, they really rarely fail, as you know. So I think sometimes you're better off waiting for that. I mean, this has been an absolute crap month for me, but I'm still up 7,700. So one more trade, that's over $10,000. So even on an absolute shite month, you can still earn yourself a good living. You know, luckily, that's the beauty of having multiple accounts. You don't need to do shit. I mean, if I had one account, I'd have to go back to work. So what, $350, $375 per account I've made this month so far. So if I had one account, I'd be in trouble. Now, obviously, I've got to get my accounts up, so it's probably going to be a couple of months before I get a payment, but hopefully then I can start taking a regular one. Mark the gap. We fell from 708 from yesterday, highest price. Price is reacting to that, yeah. He was a disaster. I was. It's weird when I think back. I went through stages of feeling completely out of control. I was throwing money at it like you wouldn't believe, and I couldn't control it. You know, I watched someone mention on the screen, "You look like you're gambling," and I was like, "No, I'm not." But in my head, I knew I was. But I've never really been a gambler. I have betted in the past, not a lot though, but it's never really done anything for me. So, but you know, if people do have issues with gambling, you know, potentially trading can financially cripple you. I bet there are people who've ended up losing everything. It's not a nice feeling though when you're throwing money at it. It's a horrible, sickening feeling. And then when you revenge trade, move your stock, it makes you feel physically sick. It's horrible. But now I don't have it. It's so much more relaxing trading. But it's taken really 5 years. It's a long time, really, to spend, to be constantly failing at something. And you do get to that stage where you think, can I really do this? And when is enough? Do I carry on? Am I still throwing money at it after 10 years? Do I give up then? It's hard. It's an hard decision to make. I did say to my wife, "Do you want me to stop at some point?" And she said, "Well, do you want to stop?" I went, "Well, not really." She went, "Well, don't then." But hopefully throughout this year, I should start to get some other rewards. I had an okay year last year. I think I profited a little over $41,000, which is a wage. It's, converted to pounds, it's probably an average wage in the UK. So as long as I can earn a wage, I'm okay. So this is really struggling to find its way down, isn't it? This is. But for me, the biggest relief this year is to be able to feel relaxed when I'm trading. I used to feel like I was, about to walk the bloody plank every time. And it is nice when you start to get that control. But I think part the way through last year, I was suffering still with impulsive trades. Sometimes I'd just bang and I'd hit that sell button. I try and not do that now. The difference between hitting the sell button and right clicking, and you've got that little bit, if you've got to right click and find that, it just gives you that extra second to think. So I try and not do that if I can help it. So we've got a channel down here with a break. It's really still choppy. So it can still get you in a bit of trouble. It's been choppy really since the open, isn't it? Although it's coming down in a fashion, it's still doing this. Clearly moving down. But as much as we kind of know where it's going, that's what I mean. If you get in here, it comes back and takes you out before it eventually looks like it's coming down. But maybe that's something to do with FOMC. I don't really know, to be honest with you. The one thing is I find trading boring now, which is a good sign. You don't really want to find it exciting. I used to turn up looking, when you get that churning feeling in your stomach, that kind of nervous, excited feeling. And it's really the wrong thing to have. But I don't get that anymore. I find it quite boring. I'm not, in a rush to get to the charts anymore. So I think that whole combination of that slow mental shift has made things much more enjoyable. Isn't it a big chat? It could be, mate. Yeah, I've kind of had a look at it. It's certainly coming down in a fashion. I did try it from here. Maybe it is. It doesn't look terrible, does it? It's kind of hitting the right areas, but sometimes, although we can see it, the trouble is when you trade in a channel, you're looking for it to pull back, and with a big channel like that, we can see it comes down, but it doesn't really help you. We can see it's coming down, but channels like this really are to trade from areas like this. But apart from the overnight, we've only had a couple of areas previously, but this may just be confirming it. But then, what do you do? So it's not really helping us as such at the moment. We can see it's coming down. It's just making life a little bit tricky for us. It's just a shame we didn't have a better bar there. See, we had two little legs up second entry. That trapped a few traders. And then same again, another bear bar trapped a few more traders before it goes down. So it's frustrating, isn't it? That's why this has helped me. It's given me a little bit more confidence. Bookmap, I can see there was orders up here. So I kind of, if it finishes like that, I think the safest bet is, there'd have been a time where I'd have taken that, but the safest bet now is just to wait for the lower highs. Sometimes you don't get it, but it can get you into trouble more times than not, especially when we still had sellers up here. So it may trigger, and it did exactly that. It came up and tested this area, which I kind of expected before working down. So I'm just going to take a quick, I'll be going for just over an hour. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'll go and make a cup of tea. It's not looking like a great day today, to be honest with you. It may be something to do with the news coming out later. But I'm just going to take a quick 5 minutes, make a cup of tea, and I'll be back. Okay. So it's doing what we expected, but just it's not making it easy. Channel down, couple of legs up, little break, no setup, and eventually new low. Dare say we're going to be testing. In fact, we've broken overnight lows, so interesting to see where prices go now. Nothing we can do on the CL chart. We've got this kind of like a bear flag with a drop, but then you push up, new high. This has been awful lately, this has. When I've looked at this in the past, it's been really good. It's been nice and clear, but this last month I've been trading, it's been crap. There's nothing you can take, really. I was looking around here, but then we're coming away from the top, aren't we? You can see that there where we're coming away, and all of a sudden dropped out. I expected a break. I didn't quite expect that much, but it does look like a bull flag, doesn't it? A bear flag, sorry. So I don't know what's going on here. You had bad reviews about Apex. It put me off. So I went with my funded futures. Apex have some rules, and they will deny you if you break the rules. I think the thing about other companies is they tend to have rules kind of within that you'll kind of automatically get paid. You know, things like 30% rules and stuff like that. Apex, I think, had a bad rap lately because of the denial. But people were taking the piss. They were just, they weren't using stops and stuff like this. But, each to their own. Each to their own. I've had denials, I have. But when I've followed the rules, they pay you. I will start diversifying throughout the year. Once I get another payment, I will pick up some other accounts. I kind of did it over a few weeks, I think. I had some accounts anyway. And then I picked up a bunch more over a few weeks. Or a week and a half, something like that. They had that offer. I think it was it like early December, late November, early December, with 90% off, and I think it was $65 or $85 PA fee, and I just did one at a time, and when I passed it, I just jumped straight, onto a PA. But the plan now is to just keep these and to grow them. When they get to about 2.6, I'll probably take $500 out of each of them, and then grow them again. But the plan is to get them to around about 7,500, and then trading one contract will be about 2% risk. But at some point, they will move you. If you just keep getting payments and you're not spending any more money, they will move you to a live funded account, where they clump all your money together and move you to a live account. You get full control. There's no rules then. There's no consistency rules, end of the day, nothing like that. And then whatever you make, they get 10% off. So they have the kind of three categories, where you've got the new guys coming in, blowing the evals, and then you got the intermediate guys making a bit of money, blowing some, making some, blowing some. And then when you get consistent, regularly consistent, I think usually once you've had 6 payments from each account, then they tend to put you forward to go onto a live account. So they kind of freeze any more accounts, depending on how much you've got. And then you're on a a period where they just monitor you, make sure you're doing everything right, and then they'll move you to a live account. Majority of people don't get there because about 95% of people won't make regular payments anyway, won't get regular payments, and then when they do, they still blow a few, make a few, blow a few. But it's when you start to get consistent, that's when they'll start to think about moving you over. But I've had denials, but what they do is they give you the benefit of the doubt. They say as long as you continue to trade okay for the next 8 days, they still pay you. So I'm all right with them. I kind of treat people how they treat me. I know they had a bad rap when they did the mass denials, but they already had the rules there, but people were just breaking them blatantly, and they just, because they grew so quick, they couldn't monitor them. And then all of a sudden, when they put something in place to monitor the rules, they realised loads of people had, broken the rules, and they denied them. But they only deny you for 8 days. But obviously people got a bit pissed off about it, and there was a bit of an uproar. So they'd have been better off, saying from beginning of next month, if you don't follow the rules, you'll temporarily get denied. But and that gave them a bit of a rap, or a bad rap. If you have a live account, you cannot trade 20 accounts. I mean, I will more be happy trading 20 accounts, 2 contracts. Yeah. When you move to a live account, they clump all your money together. So whatever you got profit, so at the moment, there's just over 15,000 in mine. If you had, I don't know, let's say you had 5,000 in each, that'll be 100,000. They would put that into your live account, and you can trade it however you want. And they kind of take 10% of it. It's still a better option, even for people in the UK, because if they paid me that 100,000, I would have to pay tax on that. I'd probably lose $45,000 on there. So they'd be better off going into a live account, and then, pay that. Hopefully, I got an email, I think it was the beginning of the month, from Apex saying that they were bringing some new things in this month, some new exciting things in. I'm not too sure what, but, I like to think they're going to speed up the payments. But if you break a rule now, apparently they send you an email and tell you what it is. Because what they want to avoid doing is have to monitor everything. They want it to work like a lot of other companies, where you automatically guarantee the payment and you just don't break the rules. But everything in trading, there are rules anyway, even trading your own account. In fact, more trading your own account. So hopefully they'll make things a little bit more transparent and make payments a little bit quicker as well. That's the one thing they kind of lag behind a little bit. So we've broken overnight lows. So where's this thing going? What does that look like? It doesn't look terrible. I've got some sellers at 16.25, which is up there. I know Martin, he was in here earlier. Martin Keychak got asked for a video. He sent him a video and they paid him. So the reason they do that is because there are a lot of companies out there now which say we'll trade your prop firm for you. And you can't have professional traders trading your prop firm because you need that constant cycle of inexperienced traders losing money and obviously experienced traders making money. If all of a sudden you take away the inexperienced traders learning and losing money, then there's no money to go around. So that's why they do it. They want to see that it's you trading it and not somebody else. It's why they introduced you've now got to put a code in, haven't you? What do they call it? When you first sign in, what isn't it? Google, whatever it is, Google Authenticator. It's another way they try and mitigate companies trading for you. Because that'll be the end. If it was that easy for traders to trade for you, that'll be the end of prop firms. But you need that constant cycle of new people coming in, losing a bit of money. Then when they start to get a bit better, they make a bit, and then you have that, that constant cycle. So we've broken overnight lows. So we may get a pullback. It may continue down. I don't know, but I'm staying out of any shorts just at the moment. Can you still have multiple accounts on live? I believe whatever you've got in your accounts, I've got 20 now, so whatever you've got total profit in your account, in your accounts, they put that into one lump. And so you've got the option. They'll pay you it all, but then you can't trade with them for 6 months, or they put you onto a live account. Because at the moment, although this is a PA account, it's still SIM funded. They still pay me out of their pocket. So once I start to become consistent and make money, they don't want to keep paying me out of their pocket. So they either put you onto a live account where they take 10%, or they say, here's all your money, but you can't trade for 6 months. Otherwise, if they paid you, you got a bunch of new PAs again, they'd have to continue paying you. So that's kind of why they do it like that. How you doing, Martin? I believe the main current issue with Apex is a strange selective ban on purchasing. Yeah, I know. I don't quite know why they do that. I think if they're thinking about putting you forward for a live account, they're obviously paying you regularly. So if you pick up new accounts, they're going to continue to pay when you're making profit. So I think that's why they stop you, because they're paying you from their pocket, aren't they? So I believe they put you on a temporary period just to check everything's fine, you're following the rules, and they'll transfer your money over. Yeah, it does seem a bit odd. They don't really explain it very well, to be honest with you, do they? Starting to test the bottom of that now, so maybe it's prudent to put that there. After 6 payments. Yeah, once you get 6 payments on an account, that's when they'll look at moving you to a prop firm. Sorry, a live account, my mistake. Trouble is, if you're a consistent trader, they'd be daft not to try and, find a way to continue to make profit from you. Yeah, majority of people blow. See, I've never had any of my accounts longer than 6 payouts. My fund of my fund. I'm not sure. Karina will know that. The only downside for newer traders with the likes of My Fund of Futures and Take Profit is I think you pay about $105. Now, there's no PA fee when you move to PA, but if you blow it, it's cost you $105 for an evaluation, so it's expensive. If you're experienced and you're not blowing them, then I would say, you know, absolutely add, you know, companies like Take Profit Trader, because they've got a good name. Excuse me, just a sec. Yeah, so I mean, you know, the ones where they include no extra costs are usually a bit more expensive. So if you're blowing evals, I wouldn't touch them personally. Stick to your apexes and your Bollonocks that are that are cheap. Because what you don't want to do is pick up a couple, pay $200 or whatever it is, and then end up blowing them. So we got two little pushes up and a bear bar there. This may come down, break from here, but I'm sitting tight here. I'm not, whether this is a channel or not, I don't know, but I'm just sitting tight at the moment. Could be a short failure here, but I'm not going short. Short failure. I'm not going long when this thing's moving down. Second entry short, possible failure. But things are skipping down at the moment, so I'm sitting tight here. Yeah, well, the beauty about Take Profit Trader is you've got to take 5 days, minimum of 5 days, so there's no rush. Trouble is, if I traded them, it would take me about 3 months at this rate because I'm just not getting setups. So I think the natural, certainly the way I look at things, I just kind of want to get them passed. But once I start getting some regular payments from this, then I can start adding and I don't have to worry about passing them quick. Trouble is, if you pay for a Take Profit Trader account, which is about $105, haven't you got to pay it again a month later if you don't pass it? Because I wouldn't have made $3,000 in the last month on an account. You need to be consistent. Twice one for evaluation of pay account with Apex. You can't just pass the eval and it's cheap. You got to be consistent with the PA. Yeah, absolutely. Issue is like, it's not that I want people to use that. I see, although I have an affiliate, I don't ram it down your neck. You know, I don't go on and on and on about it. I'll tell you about a new offer, but then I leave it at that. I just don't want people missing out on 20 possible accounts with Apex because, you know, they've heard bad things about them. What, you know, because there's two things that people tend to have a gripe with Apex. It's having a video asking you to copy, to video your trading. Because I know the reason why they do it is because there are companies that trade for you. So I absolutely get that. And denials, a lot of other companies don't deny you because you have to follow the rules. Otherwise, you can't put in a payment in if you've broken the rules. It won't allow you to. Whereas Apex will. So that's a couple of reasons, really, why Apex have got a bad rap. But, you know, if you said to me, so-and-so's Karina's a horrible person, I would want to find out for myself. I don't kind of judge people on what someone else says about them. So, but, you know, there are loads of companies out there. You don't have to use Apex. You can use whoever you want. I just think they're good because I like the prices and I like the fact you can have 20 in one place, but it's not for everybody. No, you're not horrible. But what I'm saying is, if somebody told me they didn't like somebody for one reason, I wouldn't listen to them. I'd want to find out myself. We know you're not horrible. I was just using you as an example. That's all. Well, this is not lovely price action today, is it? I just understand why Apex have had a bad rap because of that initial denials, and that's what got a lot of people's back up. Will I take a fail second entry long? Possibly. Slight concern I have, we've got a move up and a pullback, so it could go higher. So if I look at that, 1625, you can see there's 160 sell orders there. So there does seem to be more seller orders up here than buy orders, so that would automatically indicate to me that it's more likely going to go up. But then this channel looks quite valid, so I don't know, actually. I'll kind of see how I feel, but I'll see how it reacts. I mean, you're going to have stops there, aren't you? It's got to trigger first. There are buyers at 10 as well. That concerns me. So there are buyers there. So if you take the failure, it comes down, stops. It could be a double trap. Stops the second entry long out, hits the buyers. It could push up a bit higher. So I'm probably going to sit tight here. We are working up to the midline. But we did the same there, pushed up to the midline, had 2 legs back, and then pushed up to the top. So we got to push up 2 legs down to to here, and then it may push up. So I'm probably going to sit tight. There are buyers 1 tick below that bull bar. You can see them, 107 contracts. Now, that might not be enough to push price up, but I'm just sitting tight, I think. It's not a huge risk. It's only 8 ticks, so it's not huge. But I don't like it. It's a little bit congested. And not only that, you are selling into a little bit of support there. We got some resistance there. You are selling into support. So it's just, I tend to just look at it now and I either like it or I don't. And this just isn't getting me excited. What I will say is you've got a higher low there, so there's going to be some stops there and there, so it may work. But I'm just sitting tight, eating me beans. You can see a fail signal. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, that one there. We've had a move up with a couple of legs back. We could make a new move towards the highs. We kind of did the same there. We pushed up. We had two kind of drops back, and then we pushed up to the tops. We've come off the bottom, so I wouldn't be surprised if it went up, had a little correction, and pushed up again. As I say, I can see sellers up here and up at 19, so I don't really want to go short at the moment because you can see there's some resistance there. So it may come down, but I'm just quite happy just sitting and waiting. It's not exciting me, put it that way. There is a possible lower channel there, which wouldn't be terrible, but the fact that we've bounced along there, and even if you back it up a bit, you can see we're bouncing there. So that, to me, is quite likely the bottom. So I'm just going to wait. It may work. But if you look now, it's stacking up a bit here on the left chart. So it's a no-no for me. That means you're depending on your feeling. That's a lot about trading. When you get more experience, you have that gut feeling. Does it look right? Does it feel right? It looks like it's working, but I don't know. It's just not for me. Just because a trade works doesn't always mean it was a good setup, but I don't like the bar. It's a little bit square, so I'm quite happy to let it go. So we've broken below the higher low there, and maybe that bull bar there, the second entry long, but now where's it going? Many props have just a one-off fee. Yeah, I mean, like the trouble is when you're talking about the likes of Take Profit Trader, it's about $100, I think. And I think if you don't pass it in a month, they charge you another $100. So that's when things get pricey. And if you fail it, under pressure to pass it, you've lost $100 for the price of an evaluation. Whereas something like Apex at the moment, $18, $19, whatever it is, Bollocks, that's pretty cheap. So it depends where you are in your kind of journey. If you're making money, then, I would say, yeah, definitely add things like Take Profit Trader to it for sure. Yeah, it is a failure, but it's not a great looking one. The EMA's a bit flat. We've just come off the bottom, so sometimes you'll push up, pull back a bit, and then go up again. We kind of did there. We pushed up, pull back, and then went up. Same there, pushed up, little correction, and then went up. So you may get caught going short there, and it may push up. But sometimes if you do nothing, the damn thing comes down. So it works, but I think sometimes you're best off trust your gut. and leave it at that. And if it works, it's irrelevant, really. The worst trade in the world can work. Okay, so there's just a little bit of message there from Ninja Trader. It's just to do with Tradeovate, to do with Tradeovate. Team identified the root cause of the issue and are practically working to solve it. This remains. So hopefully by the end of the day, we will provide you with an update approximately 30 minutes or sooner if there's significant progress. So hopefully we'll get something. Get some of you Tradeovate guys back working again. So the failure did work. It just wasn't great for me, to be honest with you. Can't see anyone took it. Someone mentioned it and someone went naff bars or something. So I can't see any trades on Thomas Wade's either. So I think everybody generally left it. It's definitely a boring day today, isn't it? Yeah, it didn't look too. See, the bull bar looked better here than it did here, but the bear bar looked better on this chart. I just don't like it. It's just see, there's always a possibility that there's a different chart there, a different channel. That doesn't look too bad, in which case it wasn't. But I don't know. I just get a feeling nowadays I either like it or I don't. I don't mess around counting. If it looks right, I'll take it. But EMA's a bit flat here. We're finding a little bit of support here. You can see it along there. Little bit of resistance, little bit of support. So I'm quite happy to leave it. It never bothers me leaving a trade at all. You know, if you've got a bunch of accounts, you need very little trades in a month. One a week, 1 or 2 a week, 5, 6 a month. You can make a really good living. And then obviously when you have better months, you know, even better. I might finish soon. I'm bored. I am. And I've been going for 2 hours and half an hour before, 2.5 hours. Absolutely. I think I know Nutty had 46 accounts at one point, didn't he? There's plenty out there. I think once you start making money, that's when to really start growing, isn't it? And then what I would do is put a little bit in my own account and draw that again, and that way you're making money from multiple different sources, aren't you? Have I ever used Renko charts? I know what they are, but I've not used them. I think Karina trades with Renko charts or Renko bars. You use Renko, Karina, don't you, I think? I'm sure you've said you've used Renko in the past. Renko charts are too easy. They're for lazy traders, Renko charts. I'm old school. I do things this way. Yeah, Renko's. I think they're for girls, actually, Renko charts. I'm only kidding. In fact, I think, what's it charged Renko charts as well? Who's that other lady? What's her name? Kellyanne. I think she uses Renko as well. Renko lady. Yeah, I think Kellyanne uses Renko. But no, I know what they are. I've not tried them before. They do sort of clear a lot of the mess up, but they look easy, but I don't think they're as easy as they look. Nothing's that easy in this business. I will behave, sorry. My mistake. I should know better. I think I'm pretty sure I can get them free as well, because I have the lifetime Ninja Trader license. I'm pretty sure I can get them for free. I can get things like order flow as well. I think I can get that for free. I'm pretty sure I got it on my chart once just to have a play around with it. So that's the beauty of having a lifetime license. You do get a few little extras. So channel down. I'm not sure whether there might be something a little bit more local. Possible. Plats is hard lately. There's just not a lot of setups around. But I did look at that Tom Hugard video, and he did say that some strategies go through a period of time where they don't really work. So it's not so much that it doesn't work. It's just we don't seem to get a lot of setups. I think that's Max chart, isn't it? Is that? Oh no, maybe not. Oh no, it's someone else's. It just looked a bit like Max chart for a minute. I think Max out of action at the moment due to the weather. I think he's right in the thick of it. So Dan's got the larger chart there, so he's looking at that. It is working nice along the bottom as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. It's fitting quite nice around the midline as well. So I think that's more or less what I've got. Yeah, it is. So let's give it a bit of colour. It's not perfect, but it's about as good as we've got at the moment. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. What?
I've got I'm popping out for a few hours on Friday.
Okay.
We're doing an escape room.
Where? At work? Oh, yeah.
Not at work, but with work.
Okay.
The one in town.
Yeah.
There's 2 groups going tonight and 2 groups going on Friday.
Okay.
Right. Pop in. You pop in. Hold on a minute. Let me just sort Emily out.
Okay, so channel down, couple of legs, and new low. I think I'm going to knock it on the head there, actually. I'm bored out my arse here. So it's FOMC day, so it's not great today. There's not been a huge amount of volume, but we didn't yesterday. So I'm going to leave it there. So I'll be back tomorrow. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. Apart from that, have a good evening, stay safe, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.